me.
Well, maybe you could just play like half an hour here and there, just to get a feel for things. I know you can't really do that with MMOs. I get it, but
he is playing Oregon Trail right now in the background, by the way.
Are you really?
No.
I'm dying of dysentery. Okay. Yeah. Welcome to another night of Whiskey, MMOs, and More, where we have Solomon, Sir Jazio, and me, Kenneth, and talking about MMOs, because guess what? We love MMOs. We think they're one of the best, well, maybe not the best, but it's a good game format, and so we want to share that with you and talk about stuff. So
no, it's the best.
Say hello, everyone.
It's the best.
What? The best. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Say hello. Say hello.
It's cracking, people.
Hello.
So cheers to everyone.
Cheers to everyone.
Another night. Okay, you have fun. Mine is whiskey with Monster energy drink.
There you go. Yeah. Attaboy. Attaboy, so, Dad.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here.
Some Evan Williams.
Some bourbon whiskey.
Kentucky bourbon.
And it's straight, by the way.
All right, so the strong will live and the weak will die. So, yeah, I was watching The Call of the Wild today, and Harrison Ford, Han Solo, with another furry friend, by the way. Okay, of course, he went to the tavern. He went to the tavern. He asked for a whiskey, and the guy brings it over. He goes, "Give me that bottle." Okay, and so yeah. Anyways, that's just a light intro. If Harrison Ford can do it, then we can too, right?
Amen.
All right. So we want to do this every week and talk about MMOs, share with you guys, and grateful that Solomon posts on his YouTube channel, Whiskey and RPGs, because we want to share this with people. And we're always looking for feedback, always looking for people to comment on what we're doing. So let's get started. So the first thing we have for today was kind of a quick quest. I decided to be MMO-ish, get it? All these quests. So this is a quick quest, right?
That works.
So the coronavirus, of course, has been hitting the world pretty hard, and we might see some recession from it. I know that myself personally, from my company, we have seen some things, plants over in China kind of reducing their work hours and whatnot. Who knows? But PAX East is coming up in Boston, and Sony has already said they're not attending. Now that is a big thing, but guess what? That's not an MMO thing. The big thing that was coming up was that Square Enix.
Yep.
Makers of Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 11. 11 still exists. Wow. Anyway, 14 has canceled most of their PAX East festivities. And considering we have a guy in the room who is a medical professional, we thought we'd let him converse and talk about more about this.
Right. Unfortunately, it's kind of called for in a way. For those who don't know what exactly this coronavirus is, it's I would liken it to the flu, but a really bad one, and it is very, very contagious. In fact, it's easier to contract this than it is. If any of you remember the SARS epidemic a few years back. It's actually easier to spread than that, and that was a big deal. Again, some of you may be too young to you were babies when that was going around, but it was pretty serious. So it is a communicable thing where, again, is very flu-like symptoms: cough, sneezing, high fever. It's very common to affect the elderly and infants more so than those in between. It can even lead to death in people who are susceptible,
right,
and not in good health previously, because of its effect on your lungs, most specifically, and the ability of it to actually lead into pneumonia in some cases. I've heard two different sides of this, but I tend to pay more attention to a little bit to the World Health Organization, and a lot to the CDC as well. that precaution should be taken here, because it is so easy to spread it, and it could easily turn into the zombie apocalypse. No, I'm kidding. But that would be kind of cool. As far as them canceling things over here in the United States, I kind of get it, but I kind of don't, because obviously they would have representatives here that are already in North America and Canada to represent them, that should be able to go to these shows and conventions and represent them. So on that end, I'm wondering why they felt the need to outright cancel. Now,
that's a good point, because it's be different to say if the actually were going to Asia. Because a good example is that my company, the Singapore Air Show happened a couple weeks ago, and one of our Echo demonstrators, the management told the crew, "How are you guys feeling? Any issues? We want to make sure it's safety is first issue. How do you guys feel about going to Singapore Air Show?" They said, "We're fine." So they flew over to Japan by the layover, before going to Singapore. And when they hit that, things had flared up more so. They had done a reassessment. They decided, nah, we're not comfortable doing this, went home. So that I get. Now, the flip side, though, is that them coming to the United States in Boston, now, unless Boston or the United States is going to have a quarantine issue, you're right. I don't understand why they would want to cancel that, because there's while we do have cases in the United States, it is not as big as it is over in Asia, especially in China.
No. Well, I think the article that I linked earlier in Discord was from massivelyop.com, and it's not so much that they're afraid of going to the United States to in fears of being infected, but more so that they might actually go, be the ones infecting other people. Yeah. Okay. So whether or not that's true, I mean, I think it's a pretty good PR reason by saying it that way. And so, but regardless, that's what they said. Like, they don't want to spread it. That's
Square Enix is a Japanese company, right? So
and they have cases of
but cases doesn't mean like China, where it's like widespread quarantine.
Either way,
fine. They're being cautious.
I do see the need for precaution, and I understand and appreciate the quarantine or self-quarantine.
Right.
Really.
Fair enough.
And they don't want to be blamed as a company or as a country representing their country for bringing it over here, and all of a sudden, boom, the United States blows up with 1 million cases of the coronavirus. But and I mean, as much as we might laugh at something like that, that wouldn't happen, it can, and it could, and it's not that far out of the realm of possibilities. This is, like I said, it is extremely able to be passed on from patient to patient. I mean, it is something. I'm not saying that this is a doomsday kind of thing and everyone's going to die. Oh my God, but it's definitely something that we should pay attention to, and little things like I'm doing right now, and Ken just did it. Us itching our noses and stuff. You got to be careful with that over there, because that's the way you spread it. But
rubbing your eyes.
Yeah. I just wonder why because they do have a headquarters over here in North America. Why couldn't they send those people to represent instead of just canceling and saying, well, we can't go? But obviously they do have Americans working for them over here that they could have sent to the shows. But I don't know why they, chose to just cancel it.
Too late, maybe because who they wanted to, then have me. Maybe they did. Maybe they asked people, "Would you go to this?" And well, I have vacations, or I can't do it, or it's let's just do this. After all, they said they were not canceling everything, but most of it.
Right. I understand the shows over in Asia that were canceled completely because they don't want people congregating together for fear of it spreading. So Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give them too much heat for it. It kind of, I'm sure that they're just as bummed out about not being able to go to those shows as we are.
Yeah. So my concern or my thought process is, okay, is that you're dealing with the fact that here it is in February. I haven't really been tracking it. I don't know if the coronavirus is escalating or if it's leveled off. I know I read a report that there were several people who pulled to a hospital in Spokane, Washington, because he actually has a one of 5 or 10 United States actually has a like very self-contained, a place to treat people. Okay, because I'm looking at forward where you're going to have, into games, others like E3. I know Sony already is not going. PlayStation's already not going to E3, so that's why I thought that for PAX East it was going to be one of their places. So not going to E3 automatically, and then coming after that comes a big game con is Gamescom, sorry, in Germany. And following that, PAX West in Seattle. So it makes you wonder what the impact will be to those going forward.
Well, let's see. When is the Germany show? That's
August.
Yeah, it's August, I believe.
Yeah.
I would
is in
assume that it should be dying out by then, or going dormant, whatever you want to call it. I've seen conflicting reports. I've seen some that have indicated that it has not leveled off. It is still escalating.
Okay.
But I also saw an American report, or no, it was Canadian. It came out of Canada. That there were signs that it was leveling off and slowing, and that the containment efforts of not allowing travel for certain citizens was working. So I think we just keep an eye on it. I feel fairly safe in saying that by the end of summer that it should be no longer really a big issue, and just wash your hands, kids.
Yeah. So I haven't seen anything where it's going to actually stop development of games. The more I've seen is more the fact of like I said, the people going out to industry or to comms and trying to PR stuff. But otherwise, games themselves have not changed their release dates that I've seen.
Right.
No.
All right. Storyline quest, okay? We always do every week. We want to talk about major MMO, okay? So we'll talk about 2 this week, okay? Because we had only 1, but Final Fantasy XIV patch 5.2 Echoes of the Fallen Star is out. And since none of us play it, we're not going to talk it. I will mention one thing. My son, who loves Final Fantasy XIV, and I said, hey, is your love of Final Fantasy XIV like my love of Star Wars? He goes, yes, except that I have other people who will verify that I'm right. So he's been playing it. They've been loving it. I mean, the whole expansion for Final Fantasy XIV has been great, and so they're loving it. So we're going to move on to World of Warcraft, okay, since some of us do play that. The new World of Warcraft update, Visions of Inzoth, which is retail, okay, successfully turned around a declining user numbers. I want to ask this question because I'll get it. Subscriber numbers grew 17% from December to January, not including China. However, they were still down 64% from August 2019, okay, when Classic was released. So I know I've been playing retail, but I'm not in the expansion. I know that Solomon doesn't really play WoW. Jaziel, have you been playing this Visions of Inzoth? And why do you think they turned around the declining sub numbers?
Oh, that's a loaded question. I have been playing. I actually have returned to playing pretty much every day for retail. Classic, I'm maybe hopping on once a week at this point. And but again, as I said on last week's show, that's mainly because I just don't have anyone playing over there anymore. They're all back to retail or gone back to other games. I have seen this trend with most major patches where people have left the game because they're bored of the previous patch or they hated it or just had life things come up and then they see a new major patch come out and they're curious. They want to, at least
Fair enough.
subscribe for that 1 month, give it a whirl, see if they like it, or even just subscribe for a month or two, do all that content, and then what was that? Oh, virus scan. Computer's good. Okay, thank you for that, Windows. So that's not uncommon. Oh, my daughter's gonna slide into the show. I see.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, we have to change the name of the show now. I'm just kidding.
Oh no.
Go on,
Oh, hide it. Hide the bottles. We're Irish Scottish. She knows. So, that's like I said, that's not uncommon. Now, as far as is it good? I would almost not recommend that people return just yet. And I think that there are a lot of people who are waiting just for the next expansion, because it's just I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel going nowhere right now. We are working on, you get the cape from Rathian, and then you're supposed to upgrade that cape so that you can stay in those visions longer and accomplish more, so that you can upgrade the cape some more and get some little rewards here on the side. But for the most part, it's all really, when you think about it, pointless. Because as soon as Shadowlands comes out, you know that you're going to get better gear just by questing.
Right, that's right.
And
the greens will be better than the purples. Yep.
Right, and there's no more raid. That this raid, the N'Zoth, excuse me, I even said it wrong just now. The N'Zoth raid, that's it. That's the last one for BFA. So
really?
Why are we upgrading? Why are we working so hard grinding for this new gear?
So
there's no reason.
What happens to your old gear then? Like, do they just automatically go to like level 1, even though like
no?
No. Your
fun,
old
though.
gear is still purple.
Yeah,
but
they're
no
still
longer
good.
as good as the new greens. Okay, greens are actually higher in stats. So you also, the purples that you thought were great now are nothing compared to the greens. Like,
but would
they're supposed to be the best, right?
Right, but so would they still be level 50 gear then? Because they're dropping the level down. Like, what level would the top tier
the gear you
right
have
now?
at 120 is purple.
Yeah.
When you squish it,
Yeah.
will be good for a 50.
Uh-huh.
Once you get new gear, it's already better. 51, the gear is green, is already better. Just the way it works. It just always happens.
Wow, that's so weird.
Okay? Well, that's the thing. But that's why they did the whole thing of actually being able to say, well, do you like that gear in a style? You can go ahead and change your gear to look like it, even though it's not the same.
Right.
I mean, transmog. Yeah, that's a different topic altogether. Doing transmog,
yeah.
But as far as the usefulness of the gear that we're grinding for right now, I mean, unless you're really in a guild that's still working on completing the latest raid in, whatever stuff that you're on, whether it's heroic or mythic, there's, for a Joe Schmo like me, there's really no point to really put 8 hours of work in 5 days a week for it.
Right.
Because there's not going to be there's no more dungeons or raids coming up between now and Shadowlands. So when I was grinding real hard to get my cape upgraded every day, I sat there at the end of it thinking, why am I doing this? And it just felt like I'm doing this for no reason. I mean, Godfuzz just said it, that the visions are fun, and he's right. I've been having fun, although the thing is, I chose to go the solo path because you can go 2 different paths. You can either upgrade your cloak to, especially at the very beginning, the first 2 stats that you can put on it are either solo oriented or group oriented. And I went with solo because I always had a hard time getting everybody together to do it as a group. So I decided to go with solo, which I've been doing okay with, but I think it would be more fun if it was done as a group.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we
Yeah.
haven't even talked about the corruption.
So
effect
Gutfuzz
and
is
stuff.
right. Sub drop off is there's not much in this patch. Once Alpha drops Shadowlands comes, it'll show up again.
Yeah, probably.
There's no fun. Yeah, right.
Probably
the
yes.
real issue is that corruption affects your character's powers more than trans Titan forging ever did, and the RNGs to get the gear sucks.
It does. Yes.
Well, and we're basically effectively in the mid range. We're in the middle part. Okay, we're between Shadowlands, we're between Battle of Azeroth, everyone hates, or people are like, I don't like it, and Shadowlands, which looks really cool and could be with the whole up and down curve that WoW has, could be the thing we're gonna do. So let's wait for it. You know, I mean, it's great in some respects. Having a bump up in subs means that people are interested at least. They're still waiting for it. They're still waiting for what's going to happen with Blizzard. Hopefully, Blizzard doesn't screw it up because Warcraft 3 was kind of a mess, and so
kind of.
Hopefully, yeah. Well, but
I refunded it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What seriously was that I saw a thing where right now, if you wanted to, Shadowlands has an encrypted alpha build out now. Okay, and you can sign up for beta.
I read about
you can sign up for beta for Shadowlands. Like, do I want to do that or not? So
I did.
I thought it was interesting that they actually, besides just a PTS server, you know, and they actually have a alpha beta thing. So it's going on. It's like, So I think they want to. Maybe this is where Blizzard is going to be learning from their lessons and move forward from that. So we'll have to wait and see, right? But that's kind of interesting that, you know. So yeah, done with WoW. WoW is still there. It's on our radar. Well, two of us are playing it. Solomon's not. Okay, that's fine.
Well, I'll get into it when Shadowlands comes out. I think it's about time we start jumping back into it.
I do want.
Fair enough.
I do want our viewers to know that as much as I harp on the complaints, I do love the game, and you know, again, I also harp on Activision Blizzard. I have a couple of people, I don't know if I call them friends, but they're definitely somewhere between acquaintance and friends who work for the company, and they're not very happy with the atmosphere there. They actually, both of them regret leaving the smaller companies that they were getting paid much less, but the work environments were so much healthier that they kind of regret going to Blizzard, and their lifelong goal was to work for Activision Blizzard.
Right.
So it's kind of sad to see them have these dreams that I once had that dream as well. I once wanted to work for Blizzard. I don't know what I would have done for them. Probably, you know, clean the bathrooms or something, maybe. But you know, I understand that was the company, especially in the late '90s, early 2000s. Man, that they were the up and coming guys that if you were anything dealing with video games, you wanted to work for Blizzard. And I mean, there were a few other companies out there that were really well regarded, but to see the shape that they're in, hear about the shape that they're in now, is really sad. But just so people know, I still love the game, and I do have fingers crossed. I have hope for Shadowlands, because it does seem like every other expansion is good, and every other expansion is either blah or maybe even a little bit on the negative side, and BFA was supposed to be blah or on the negative side. Well, so,
and beyond that, realistically, I mean, 15 years of WoW, right? We've played. I mean, I play a large amount of WoW.
It's been 15 years.
Holy crap! 15 years. We want it to be something that we can say, look, we didn't waste 15 years of our life on this game. I mean, I not as much as Jaziel. I dropped out for several expansions. Okay, we want it to be. It's like besides being hey, we are MMOers. We want to play a great game and move forward. We also want to make sure the game we invested our lives to. Someone asked me on stream. It said, "So Ken, how much money have you dropped into WoW over the years?" I go, "Whoa." Let me see. $15 times 12 months times how many years? Oh shoot! $2,000 plus the expansions I paid. I'm like, holy crap! So
plus
we want it to be good, okay?
Plus any mounts or pets that you've bought along the way.
I didn't, but I did do some server transfers and some faction transfers. Okay, so that's why we really want Shadowlands to be good, especially when they say, "Hey, this is the whole point of the to me the great expansion of all, the Lich King." I'm like, I hope you're not gonna mess up the Lich King now, right? That was the great expansion ever. Don't mess it up. So that's why we want to see it succeed, I think.
Take my money.
It looks good.
All right.
Yeah.
We are done. We have completed. You heard the sound. Our storyline quest has completed. Now we're into some class quest, okay? So our first class quest is Temtem has sold over 500,000 copies.
I knew that.
I've not bought it.
Yeah.
Have you guys bought it?
No.
But I knew it would do well.
I covered it
Pokemon MMOs. I know. So if you haven't, obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you've already seen the other Whiskey and RPG post from Solomon, right? Talking about Temtem. Temtem is that Pokemon MMO that apparently a lot of people like, but I'm not playing it.
Yeah.
But I just want to let people know that, guess what? 500,000 copies were sold. So I think they might count that as a success, okay? So
and it's still in early access, too. Those are 500,000 early access accounts, too.
Early?
Yeah, it's in early access.
So it's still going up.
We'll get to it in a minute, okay, about that, okay? But that's when we talk about alpha betas, okay? But interesting, I didn't realize that. So now I toss over to Solomon for Solomon notes.
Yeah,
Any notes you want to share?
So I covered a lot of games this week, but
you sure do. And if you're not watching, you better be watching. Like and subscribe because he puts a lot of good stuff out. It's great listening to. When I'm exercising, I listen to him. I learn so much. I'm grateful for what he does. It gives me what I need in a bite-sized way. And yeah, I'll have to read it now. Okay, so there.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I appreciate you guys doing this with me too. So it means a lot. But
sorry, Solomon, not competing with a dog now. Okay. They say when you're an actor, you never want to compete with kids and dogs. Okay, and you got a dog there.
Gotta refrain from making Korean jokes.
Wait, way to go, Solomon. Way to go, Sajazio. Okay.
My mind just went there too now.
I'm Korean. I have a Korean card. I could say that.
Yep, you can.
Wow.
I probably should.
No, you could, but just not on stream. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so out of all the games that I covered this week so far, one game really stuck out, and that's Wild Terra 2, which also went to
Wild Terra 2.
Yeah, it's a crowdfunded game, and it went into, I believe, alpha for all the backers. And the reason why this game interests me the most out of all the games that I've reviewed so far or covered is that it's a sandbox, top-down sort of ARPG style MMORPG, and it's a fresh take on things. Like I'm a traditionalist. I like the third person, viewer traditional MMORPG, but this one seems to be really shaking things up a bit in the, in my words, the MMO industry for what that's worth. I can't English today. And so I think it's been getting a lot of press these days, especially from independent YouTube content creators. They've been covering it a lot. And I think this could be a big contender in the future in terms of the MMO realm, the MMO space. That's not a AAA title, so I definitely keep an eye out on that. If I were you guys.
Okay. Interesting, because my whole ARPG reminds me of just like the whole Diablo thing, right?
Right. Exactly. And again, this isn't nothing like Diablo. This is an actual MMO. And a sandbox MMO too, because most RPGs in that style it tends to be a theme park.
It's not free to play, right? It does cost. Obviously they have a pledge and alpha access. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything other Solomon notes?
you know, you had some big news here and there from, you know, again, you mentioned 5.2 that just dropped. Blade and Soul came out with the third ninja skill tree, and if you like your lolly characters, and we're not going to really talk about that, but you can make your little Lin race an assassin if that's what you want to do. I mean, you know, I don't judge, whatever. Black Desert had their lawn secession skills drop too as well, which is pretty big news. Cross server or cross console play for Black Desert Online fans out there. If you play on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, you get to actually meet up with your friends if you have different consoles, which is good. I'm hoping they'll extend that to PC users. You know, I'm not gonna hold my breath, but that'd be pretty cool if they did.
So cross console, but not cross the PC.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about PS5?
That's a good question. Well, I don't know. Maybe Pearl Abyss or Kakao Cox will develop, or Kakao Talk. I call them Kakao. Kakao Games will extend it to PS5 and the next Xbox. Maybe they'll develop for those platforms too. But as of right now, there's no game for those consoles yet. Those are all the things I could really think of off the top of my head at this moment. I'm sorry. One more thing. Blue Protocol is going to be free to play in Japan, which is really cool.
Right. But I mean, not for North America, right?
Well, if we get the North American release, it's assumed it's going to be free to play, but you can, crossing your fingers, hopefully we'll get a North American release.
Okay. Cool, thanks, Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, again, if you're not watching his Whiskey and RPG stuff, you better, because that's where you get all the information in more detail. Now we're into our side quest. So this is where we're going to ask some questions to the community, for us, okay, and the community involved, right? So, given the fact that we talked about alpha and betas, right? So I want to find out I know, and I kind of know Kevin the answer, especially from Jazeel, but do you all participate in MMO alpha beta? Because WoW Shadowlands is coming out in a beta opt-in. So do you guys play alpha or beta of these MMOs or any MMO? Solomon, you first, I guess. Well, I know that. I know Sajio has some answers already from last time.
That is true.
Solomon.
It depends on the game. Like if it's a game I really want to play, then I'll play the beta. If not, maybe. If it's free, then I'll do it.
Okay.
But I wouldn't pay for it.
Okay. Well, yeah. That's a fair statement. I'm thinking like the fact that I tend to beta because I want to see how the game is, so that when it does come out, I'll pay for it or not.
That's true. That's a fair point. But I will, and I think this is a really good criticism, even for today's standards. But betas aren't really betas anymore, right? They're just early access, try out the game, early access type of betas now. Betas used to actually involve you going and test the game and write to the developers and say, hey, I found this problem, that problem, you can fix this, maybe look into that. But these days, especially with Activision and EA, it's just like, oh, go join our beta, but they won't really take your feedback. It's just like, hey, check out your game so we could build up more hype for it, right? So with that being said, like, again, it depends on the game. So
good point. I mean, New World says if you buy now early access, you can get into the beta pre-launch, and it's like literally a month or less than that.
Exactly.
Launch. Like,
exactly.
Wait, if you're a month ahead of actual launch, how much is a beta? Beta in the past used to be that test, give us feedback, we'll fix, then we'll launch. Okay. If you're going to be a less than a month or so away from actual launch and you're testing it, wow, I don't know if that's beta. It's more of early access.
Exactly.
Jazeel, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree that the process has changed completely. And a lot of the betas definitely feel like they're just early access. I saw the change with, I've been in every beta in World of Warcraft, for instance. I've been in many different games, but prior to Battle for Azeroth, I definitely knew, and it wasn't just I felt like, I saw it in action, that I was reporting bugs and things were getting fixed. Mm-hmm. And they were taking some of the ideas that I would give and other people were giving were being utilized and taken seriously. And sometimes we would say, hey, what about this? And they'd say, no, that we don't like that idea, or yes, we like that idea. I noticed with Battle for Azeroth, I don't know what they did with. I turned in literally thousands of bugs of issues, along with other people. On most of those issues, there were several of us that were beta testing, and the game was released. It went retail with those same bugs that we had reported 6 months prior.
6 months, okay.
Yeah, I mean, and we were like, how can that still be in the game after 6 months of us telling you guys that that's not working, or that's that's just not gonna it was everything from, what I'm trying to say is, it was everything from something small to huge game breaking things.
Yeah.
And I felt like they didn't read any of our input at all. I mean, didn't count, but there were a lot.
Of course, having worked the agile process at my company, which a lot of companies do with regards to game development or software development, I know that odds are they had probably say they had 1,000 different issues, and they actually fixed 500 of them or recorded them. Okay, but the ones that you were seeing weren't done, but others were, because they considered they probably did a triage and say what's most important and critical, because they were held to that release date. That's the thing about a lot of game companies, right? Is how much a game could be held to the release date. We saw that Cyberpunk 2077 was pushed out, okay? And so, I mean, I don't know for a fact. Obviously, as a beta tester, if you're looking at, here's the bugs, you're like, literally, these are bugs, and you're not seeing them fixed, you're like, well, wait, why should I buy the game? You didn't fix the same these problems are going to be out there when I hit the actual game, so why buy it?
Yeah, I had thought about that as well, like the triage situation of, okay, team, this is all the bugs that we've got together from yesterday. Take a look at them, see what you can do to fix it today, and that possibly they saw others that were way more important than the ones that I had turned in and people that I talked to had turned in. But the problem with that was that it wasn't just average Joes like me. There were people that were seeing those same bugs. I'm not saying I'm on best friends basis with Preach or any of those, or Asmin or any of those guys, but those guys were seeing the same exact and turning them in, as I saw on their streams and on their YouTube videos. If I missed their stream, they were turning in those same bugs that I was turning in.
Right.
And like I said, a few of them were really game breaking. They were bad. There were issues that needed to be fixed, and they were not. And I'm not exaggerating. Like, I am pretty sure that none of the bugs I turned in were fixed. Now they are now, most of them. So there's still one or two that I'm like, dude, we're almost to the next expansion already, and there's still a couple out there. But
when you fix a bug, 10 more pop up, I'm sure,
That's true. I mean, and you're right. They put down what time that game needs to be released, and if it's not fixed by then, too bad.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And that's
sorry, Vision. No.
When you're a game tester, and even more so, I'm not saying that you're less than somebody else like Aspen Gold or someone who's a very visible person, right? If you literally are seeing these things that are breakable or broken and they're not being fixed, you start questioning. And when you have a high level of viewership and people are like seeing that, you're like, why would it? To me, there's a marketing issue. I think it could be involved here. Again, triage. You have 10 game devs that can only work on 10 different fixes, and there's 100 of them. You got to probably fix the ones that need to be most critical for the release date. So different topic later date, right? But maybe sometimes game companies should delay that release. So yeah. So I mean,
we would understand, I think.
so you have, so besides World of Warcraft, have you done other betas?
I have. Yeah.
Okay.
I've done
Hello Kitty Online. I know you.
Yeah. Of course that one, and My Little Pony. And there was a Care Bears one that never got released. True story, actually, but we'll just play it off as a joke. Yeah. Yeah, I love helping to fix games. As you know, I say that and kind of laugh at myself because I'm not fixing anything. I'm just reporting something that's broken so someone else can fix it.
That's good, but they need that. That's QA. So yeah.
I love going in there and testing it out for them and feeling like I'm part of the process of it. Now, I do have friends that don't understand that. Why are you grumbling, Miss Puppy? Because they want to play the game fresh when it comes out on retail. They don't want to beta test it because they feel like they're having the storyline spoiled for them and whatnot. And
a little bit, but
and normally with beta they don't put all of the content in there, so you're only getting part of the story. You're not getting all the cinematics and things are missing. So I understand that they would rather just get the whole product and whatnot. But I feel like towards the end of an expansion, if you're actively playing the game like ESO or not so much Guild Wars 2 anymore, although they are still working on it, putting new content out, but and World of Warcraft especially, that I feel like, I don't know, I just want to help.
Well, and that's where, like, for me, I don't, when I do Kickstarter, say for Camelot Unchained or Crowfall or others, I don't buy the one where I can do alpha. I'm like, I don't want to do alpha for you. Crowfall, I started playing early Crowfall. And I'm like getting in there. I see some things, right? I'm like, the game's not finished. I don't have time for this. I'm sorry. Nothing personal. I bought into your vision. I kickstarted your campaign. I'm not really wanting to help you get through the buzz and get to the final product. I don't have the time. Okay, I don't have the focus. Okay, I want to do other things too. So for me, I tend to alpha and beta test only in finding out if it's a game I want to buy. Now, mind you, I have Kickstarter games. I have access to games right now, whether it was Ashes of Creation to their BR, Battle Royale, or Crowfall, or Camelot Unchained. But I'm like, I really want to play the final game. It's not that I get spoiled with the storyline. It's more like I want to play the final game. I don't have time for you. Now, I love the fact that these devs are actually asking for feedback from people. I mean, you pointed out, hey, I gave feedback. They didn't listen to me. That's different. QA is a different issue, okay? When it comes to like development through alpha, I'm like, fine. There are folks who really want to guide the devs to where they need to go or they think the game should be. Fine. Good. That's great for you. I love that. It's not for me, personally. It's just not me.
Well, Solomon had said it also earlier that the trend now isn't so much of, like, World of Warcraft seems to still be doing it, where they just put out the opt-in to get into the beta. It seems like now games are coming out with, well, if you can only get in it if you pre-order, or if you've given to our Kickstarter or GoFundMe campaign, or if you buy the exclusive mega $150 pack. That seems to be kind of a trend that's going on right now, to where you're only going to get beta anyway if you pay for it, and which to me is a little ridiculous, because maybe I'm showing my age again, but most people that test products are the ones getting paid. The testers are getting paid in most areas, and so it's kind of weird to me that a company would come up and say, hey, you want beta? And I go, yeah, I'd love to help you develop this game. And then they go, well, you can only do that if you give us the $99.99.
Yeah.
Because there are a couple of games out there right now that I would love to get in, a little bit early and help test out and work out the bugs and whatnot. But I'm not going to buy I don't have that kind of money. But even if I did have that kind of money, I don't think that I would do that.
Do you want to share what those are?
Nah.
Okay.
My Little Pony.
Fair enough. No.
My Little Pony.
All right.
Well, I think. Well, yeah, we'll move on.
All right.
Those 2 Amazon games are like that.
So speaking of Amazon, okay, so we have an event coming up. We'll finalize the detail later on, okay? But we are going to play New World from Amazon. It's releasing at midnight Pacific time on March 26th. May 26th. Now, I'm sure there'll be more details going on because if you go to Amazon, .com, you'll see that it says midnight March 26th, May 26th. There are some, if you pre-order, you can actually get in earlier, get some more beta type of stuff, right? So we'll be giving you more details about when we actually do this, the pre-show, the actual launch of it, okay? But we're going to play New World, okay? That's our commitment for you guys, May 26th. So be there. We want to play it. We still haven't quite gotten ourselves around the idea, or we have the idea, but we haven't found a game yet, free-to-play game. We want to play it and share with you guys as part of the community, and then do a review of it, okay? So we're going to work on that, okay? But, hey, meantime, New World's coming out. Looks pretty good from Amazon. May 26th. Be there. Be with us. Play with us, and we'll have fun.
And you could buy a house.
And you can buy in that grove?
Well, they released more information where you could buy homes, and it'll be your spawning point. You also have to pay rent.
Okay.
And among other things.
There's not rent control in this game? Never mind. Okay. So never mind. So anyways, that's our show for the night. We're trying to keep these things contained within an hour so that Solomon doesn't have to do as much editing. I had another side question, but we'll do that next time. But grateful for you all to be here.
We've only been live for like 45 minutes. I mean, if you want that side question.
Oh, well then, there we go. Okay, so we'll have Solomon's points together. Okay, so, all right. My other side quest, okay, my other, so to speak, is what are your thoughts on rogue servers?
Oh yeah, though that's a good one. That's a good one.
For me personally, I did sign up for City of Heroes because my friend, not Fred, and I play Champions Online every Tuesday. And I am sorry, I love Norman, great friend of mine, but Champions is dead. Okay, they are still doing things right. There's new content out there. Once we get online again, we have some new content. But so City of Heroes, which was the game everyone wanted, and my son and others who have played Champions are going, yeah, it's not COH. Okay,
it's pretty dead.
They have a rogue server. Okay, when you go listen to Massively OP. Bree talks about playing Star Wars Galaxies on a rogue server, okay? So, having dabbled only once, okay, I'm curious to know you guys' thoughts on rogue servers.
I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
Granted, I think
play them?
They might be illegal in a sense that you're taking somebody else's, work and, I get that part, but it's just like some of these old titles, they're just like you play them for the nostalgia. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you play them?
No, because the game that I would like to have a rogue server isn't in that list, and that's
what's that?
Richard Garriott's Tabula Rasa.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Like I, for whatever reason, have the most biggest craving to play that game, and it's not there.
I remember it coming. I remember when it was announced, but I never played it.
One second. I even hang on. Keep talking.
Oh, he's gonna share.
Yeah, I saw one that I've been looking forward to actually, which was EverQuest Online Adventures. It was originally only on the PlayStation 2, and I at the time was playing the original EverQuest, and I had a friend that had got that on his PlayStation 2, and I used to go over after work a couple days a week and go play that. So I'm kind of excited that they're going to be porting that onto PC.
Right?
Yeah.
Still
it looks like garbage though.
I've heard of EverQuest 2, right? But I never heard of EverQuest Online Adventures. Is it like EverQuest, but more? I mean,
it was only on PlayStation 2.
Oh.
And it was pretty short-lived. I honestly don't know how long it was still active after I stopped playing, but was it as good as the original EverQuest? I mean, it's not really, but it was still fun. And I just, again, it's a nostalgia thing that I think that I would probably hop on the Rogue server and just pedal around on it for a weekend or something, just for fun when I had some free time. I wouldn't take it seriously. But I know I think I saw WildStar on there as well, which I'm not surprised. That game.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, for those who aren't looking at it, we're talking about the ones on massively OP mentioned. Okay, obviously the one mentioned Star Wars Galaxy, okay? Which basically has a rogue server and people love it, apparently. Earth and Beyond, Toontown Online, The Sims Online, that's the one that shocked me, okay?
Oh, wow.
Shadowbane, City of Heroes, that I've mentioned, The Chronicles of Spellborn, never heard of it. Asheron's Call, kind of played it.
Oh wait, the servers for that game is down?
Huh?
I thought Asheron's Calls was still up. I guess not, huh?
Okay.
Never mind. No, never mind.
Online.
Yeah, sorry.
Which I did play, by the way. That was Mythics, after Camelot. I'm online. EverQuest Online Adventures, WildStar, Age of Empires Online.
The original.
Never played it. I played Age of Empires, okay? Earth Eternal, and Rusty Hearts.
Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. See, but no Tabula Rasa. Dang it.
No I don't understand them doing the original Age of Empires, because Age of Empires 2 is fantastic.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But yes, if you didn't see earlier, I got the collector's edition of Tabula Rasa right here.
Oh
yeah, man, I'm impressed.
I still have it, and this is the dog tag that they gave out at Comic-Con when it didn't sell out in like 30 minutes. I used to go every year, and they had a booth there. And Richard Garriott was actually at Comic-Con.
Really?
I didn't get to. He wasn't there when I went to that booth, unfortunately. But you got exclusive stuff for the MMO, which is really cool because you got a bunch of goods that nobody else had. You could only get it if you went to Comic-Con, right? So you had all these.
I was so hyped for that game, dude.
I miss it. You got all these posters and all these other freebie stuff, and it's just like, yeah, I remember Lord British because of this game and not because of Ultima. That's Lord British to me. But I really want to play this game now.
Love him or hate him.
Yeah, exactly. Love or hate him.
On to a different game, which he's now no longer part of either. Okay?
Shroud of something. Shroud of
Avatar.
Yeah. See, I don't even know
what kicked out of. Okay, so but yeah.
Well, yeah, I was going to go there, but no, don't forget it. I'll be nice.
I'll be nice. But you know what's really funny about hey, sorry, real quick. Hey, Havoc, thank you so much for the raid, man. I do appreciate it, my friend. Thank you so much.
Oh wow. Oh, you got a raid. 5, okay. Oh, cool. I'm watching you too.
Yeah, Havoc.
Guys.
If you guys don't, sorry, if I could just go hog the stream here real quick. If you guys don't know, Havoc is a former Marine, so if you want to support your troops, definitely go check out his channel. Give him a follow. They're free. Again, Havoc, appreciate it.
And if you're not watching Solomon's panels, right, Havoc is his streaming mentor.
Oh, you see,
I don't have it because of Solomon. I read your panel, okay?
Thanks.
When you said Havoc, I'm like, this is your mentor, man.
Yep.
Not me. So you call him dad, not me, okay?
My stream daddy.
But Havoc, thank you for your service. Appreciate it. We everyone who has served in the armed forces, I really appreciate it. I personally did not. I did my side of things by designing airplanes for the military, but yeah, I appreciate everyone's service. Oh wait, I'm now a mod. Crap. Now I'm really important. Anyway, so Solomon, you have not joined any rogue servers. So Jaziel, have you joined any rogue servers?
Well, the one I probably shouldn't say.
Not on the list here?
No, not off the. No, I probably will forever, or Forever Quest Adventure, and then I might do WildStar. That was a pretty fun game, actually.
It was actually, yeah. I remember the engineer. Yeah. Engineer was really fun.
Yeah. So at least those two. I mean, Warhammer. I don't know. I remember not being entirely happy with that game when it was out. But I might give that one another pass as well. But I don't know, man. The thing with those kind of endeavors is that often they do get tied up into some legal kind of thing and end up getting ripped down and whatnot. So
I'm surprised. Sorry.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the people who do City of Heroes have been dealing with it.
Yeah.
The owners of the IP were like in discussions with them, but they haven't really clamped down. So it might be okay. I mean, City of Heroes has always been one of those games, been not offline now for 10 years, that it wasn't losing money. But the company that ran it, was it Nexon, I think it was? Or
it was NCSoft.
NCSoft. Just they wanted to move on. They were making money, but they want to move on. And so it was closed down. And yet that very day it closed down, someone copied the server. I don't know how you do that, Kate, but you copied the server and been tinkering with it for several years. And they finally became very aware of it. So I said, I dabbled into it. I jumped in. I started playing it. And I'm like, woo! It brought memories back. I mean, I had bought the game originally, didn't play a lot of it. And I'm like, whoa, this was like the flashback of memory just wiped over me. So it's interesting. I played Warhammer Online. I haven't tried the Rogue server there. The only Rogue server I've done is City of Heroes. But I'm like, I have WoW Retail. I have Jedi Fallen Order. I have other games to play. I don't know if I have time to go back in time. I mean, there's all these services allow you to play old games again.
Right.
I'm on Windows 10. And I have old games either on 5.25 inch floppies or 3.5 inch disc, right? I can't play on my computer, but if I bought it offline, like I did Caesar 3, I bought it, I downloaded it, I started playing it. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't go back. I'm moving forward, so that's just me.
Well, maybe you could just play like half an hour here and there, just to get a feel for things. I know you can't really do that with MMOs. I get it, but
he is playing Oregon Trail right now in the background, by the way.
Are you really?
No.
I'm dying of dysentery, okay? Yeah. No, actually, that's a game my kids have played, but I never... Well, I might have played a little bit of it, but yeah.
I think everybody did, man.
The one game that I want to bring up, though, I guess you could call it a rogue server, is the Black Desert Online's rogue server called...
What?
It's called Crimson. It's called Crimson Desert.
Why would it be a rogue server of a game that's still out there and
because
that old?
Because I guess people just don't want to, pay for some of the pay to win items that are admittedly in the cash shop and be able to experience all.
I get that.
But I'm just surprised that server, that illegal server, rogue server, whatever you want to call it. I'm surprised it's still up. Like you figured a big company like Kakao Games, and Pearl Abyss would be able to, get that server down, but still running. But here's a shocker. Here's a real kick in the balls. The Kakao Games next MMO or online game or online RPG, whatever you want to call it, is actually called Crimson Desert. So when you flood the SEO, the search engine optimization, Crimson Desert, it's gonna now go to Kakao Games Crimson Desert rather than the Rogue server Crimson Desert. So I think they did that on purpose. I think they're being very clever about that. So
well, again, if you're talking about a early game so if you're a current game and you know about rogue servers, you're like, you might want to make sure we capture the future. I mean, obviously, City of Heroes, who would have thought someone would have copied the IP or the code and then basically wrote circuit of it? So NCSoft didn't think about it. They lost out at it. But hey, nowadays, why not? Why would you not do that?
And plus, I mean, a lot of these games are just so old now, It's like, what money could you possibly lose if you're a big AAA developer by shutting down an old game that, people just want to try out, play for nostalgia reasons,
Yeah, that's the part where I don't get. I mean, I know that's the reason one of the issues of Warcraft 3 was that Blizzard basically locked down the IP saying, if you were to create some kind of mod, we own it.
Right.
Because Dota came from a Warcraft 3 mod.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
And so now you're like, okay. So yeah, you lost money on that.
Mm-hmm.
And if nobody creates a mod, you gain nothing from it.
Right.
So I don't...
You should have made a better game, Blizzard.
Or learn from it. I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like,
I mean,
Dota
was way better than Heroes of the Storm, I'll tell you that. I'm sorry, Blizzard. I didn't mean it.
I did.
Anyway, that was good. That was good discussion. Because the rogue servers are the thing we see nowadays. It's easier these days to have a rogue server, and people are playing rogue servers. Like I said, when I listen to Massively OP, their podcast every week, Bree talks about playing on Star Wars Galaxies, and she's amazed at the number of people who are there just buying tents or whatever she's doing. She loves being on there. She jumps in. That's one of the games where I should have played, but I didn't because I was deeply into Camelot. And because of my life and not necessarily being the right person, right mind at the time, I wanted to stay in Camelot and not join Star Wars. But I know Star Wars Galaxy was a lot of fun, people, and it died because they had a bad expansion. Of course, it also, I think that Star Wars Lucasfilm pulled the IP because they wanted SWTOR. But so that's why I love the fact that people who have a game that died, who never wanted to go, again, example, Sea of Heroes is a place to go and play it. Now, it'd be nice if the IP people would actually say, look, let's go ahead and keep it, at least have something. Will make some money instead of having a big rogue server.
Well, can a game make money while they're on maintenance mode, though? I mean, I guess you can, right?
Because that's where Champions Online is basically in maintenance mode.
Wait, you said it wasn't a maintenance mode.
Well, I know. So there is enough of the people who own it have some people working on it where they do put out some new content, but we still kind of cap at 40. There's nothing new. There's no new raids or anything. There's some new quests. That's easy to do, okay?
Right.
So, and I paid the 1/3 off price for the lifetime memberships. I paid $200, which is still cheaper than the money I put into over the years for my sub to have it. Now, mind you, it's free to play too, okay? So you can do free to play Champions Online. But I chose to do also, I paid the $200 sub, $200. So I have more character slots, more input to it when I play with my friend, not Fred. So yeah. Wait, what? He's also a backer of Camelot Unchained 2 as well.
Oh yeah, I was talking about you to my viewer.
Yeah, well, Dark Age of Camelot, I played a lot of on Mythic. My first MMORPG. I loved it. I had a paladin for many years. I went to WoW and I dropped off and it came back. I went to a dark place, give my life back to Jesus Christ, and so therefore I moved on and played games again. And because Mythic, Mark Jacobs, guy decided to launch out the Kickstarter for Camelot Unchained, I was there. So we'll see when it finally releases.
Finally, that's key word. Finally, hopefully.
Yeah, Lotro was a fun game, but it didn't keep, not necessarily me, but my son attention. He and I both played that game together, and I liked it. But I liked like Lord of the Rings, but there were other things to play on too.
Do you remember the collector's edition of that game? That thing was huge.
No,
it was
I didn't buy them back then.
I was tempted to buy it.
Well, I finally bought the Fallout 76 thing over there, That was
Yeah,
really
that's
cool.
true.
But then the game crashed and burned on me. But I don't regret buying the power armor helmet.
That is a
Yeah,
pretty
the
cool
helmet's
helmet.
still cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, even if it was $150.
Yeah. And even then, I bought the I forget what it was, the
Ouch.
actual Pip.
Oh, I wanted the
Pip
Pip
2,
Boy with the collision
Boy.
system Fallout 4, right? Oh, that thing
No, that
was
wasn't
so
Fallout
cool.
4. That was another organization did that. What do they call it, right? They make other things, right? But
Oh yeah, like a third-party toy company. But
Excuse me.
what was the collectors of Fallout 4 then? I could have swore it was a Pip Boy.
It was. And by the time I thought about buying it, it was already sold out.
Right, same here. And I think you had to use your smartphone download an app on the smartphone, and the screen turns into what you saw in the Pip Boy. Oh, what? Okay, you gotta show me what's in the box.
Oh, it came in a box?
Oh yeah, that's why I kept the box. Okay?
That is awesome.
This box is awesome. I know. It's like this is a really cool box. So
This is like watching Adam Savage's show and his.
oh wait, it's the one from Fallout 76 too.
yeah,
The old school
it's
one.
made by who makes it? I want to figure out the name, Cave, of the company.
You actually did that right. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, again, I don't regret the game. I regret. But I don't regret
Right.
doing it. Okay.
That's awesome.
Who's the company that did this, okay?
It's not-
Shoot.
You know what's funny though, because I remember Bethesda tried to cash in on some of the Fallout related items, like the rum, the Fallout rum, whatever it's called.
I didn't buy that.
Yeah, and it was like encased in like a plastic little sleeve. It wasn't even the real bottle. People were angry about that.
That's where, if anyone's not watching Young Ye,
Oh yeah, Young covered that
on
yeah.
YouTube, you should. He's a
Yeah.
Fallout guy, a fan of it, and he's very honest about how it's just putting the mold in some of the helmets, which I don't have a problem with.
Well, where's the Pip Boy though? The box was empty.
Oh yeah, that's over here.
Oh.
I have. See, also I got the. Here, I'll show you.
This is the Ken's show and tell segment.
Well, Bethesda days
That
at
works.
PAX West, okay. They
Oh,
had
that's
this,
cool.
they
The
were giving this
quantum.
out.
Oh, man, I'm jelly.
You know, well, the cup and a thing, but yeah, here's my actual Pip Boy.
That's awesome.
You know,
Wow, dude.
yeah, I put together, right? Yeah, I mean, I thought about cosplaying my Pip Boy with my helmet
That's cool.
at PAX West, okay, but I didn't do it.
Does the holotape thing pop out too?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
It's been a while. Here, are. What's there? Where's it at? How's it come out?
No, don't break it. I mean, I believe you.
Well, no,
I believe you.
it comes out. I
Don't break it though.
haven't played it for a while. Okay,
Yeah.
it's like
That's fine. That's fine, Dad. It's okay, Dad.
where is it? Come on.
It's
Come
fine.
on.
It's
Where
fine.
is it at?
We might be spending an hour here, so it's fine.
Yeah, I know. Oh, here it is.
Oh,
I think it's on the sides here. Okay. Well, yeah.
Oh
so it comes out.
wow, that whole entire thing comes out.
My sorry, but probably easier way. But yeah, it does come out. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a tape there. You know.
That's cool.
I know.
That's
so
so
I
cool.
put together. Yeah. All right. Yeah, it's cool. That's why. So I don't regret that. I don't regret paying $200 for that thing
Oh, it's
and for your
200.
Pip Boy. But the game, of course, didn't quite
Right.
live up. Now I know there's expansion. They finally have the NPCs. I'm not sure when it's coming out.
The Wastelanders
Came out last
expansion or
year.
something.
Wasn't
or-
you know? So
Yeah, yeah.
and if you notice, I haven't opened this yet. Okay.
I
mean,
wouldn't
it was
either.
on it was on the counter. It was at Hard Rock Cafe
Nice.
in Seattle, PAX West, Bethesda days. I even got a T-shirt. They gave away this stuff. You know, it's like I had to keep one. I've never
Dude, they
opened
just
it.
handed those out. Those were like $10
Yeah,
each.
It was on the counter. It was on the counter.
That's awesome.
The bar, right? You just pick one up, you know. I mean, I even got. I mean, it came with the. If you wanted to drink, the Vault-Tec glass.
Oh,
Of course, you know.
nice. Man, they went all out for Fallout 76.
Because at the beginning of
the intro,
the game,
right?
When you're in there, right, everyone's celebrating the fact of. Anyway, so
that's really cool.
That's where it's like, I don't want to buy the editions, right? The premiere editions, because I'm the game might crash and burn. I don't want to buy pre-order because I'm afraid.
I get it. I got this thing.
But thing is, though, is like sometimes having those pre-order items is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, you watch Yang Ye. He has his power armor behind him. You can see it.
He does, yeah.
You can tell he's a Fallout fan. And so I don't know if he regrets doing that, okay? But he regrets the game per se, so that's fine.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Now we're.
But the Helm and the Pip-Boy were in the other games too, so you don't have to necessarily relate it to.
Right. That's the key point. That's why I brought up that. Well, I mean, his for Solomon's Tabula Rasa.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
I know.
Yeah,
what you have is so much more cooler than this thing. It's freaking more British, whatever.
Well, that's why I thought about why don't I buy about buying the advanced version of New World with all the perks. I'm like,
right,
and I'm like, and
I thought about it too, but I'm not.
Borderlands 3. When I was at PAX West, they announced the fact that Borderlands 3 you could buy this box. They even showed it on stage, right, with the owner of Gearbox, or the main guy, right? How you open this box up. Here's all these wonderful things for Borderlands 3, and you're like, sounds really cool. And I'm like, but it's already sold out. And I'm like, but yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I bought Borderlands 3. I played a little bit. Most of my friends did not buy it right away, or not play it right away, and it's like I've not heard anybody playing it right now. At least my round. Okay?
Yeah.
None of the guys that we knew had bought it in our community are talking about it at all. Whether it's good or bad, I have no clue. They just don't play it anymore.
I heard there's an expansion or a DLC, I think, if I recall.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's...
So, I mean, people are playing it, but I'm
not spending any more money on it.
Yeah.
It was a Valentine's event sort of expansion.
I mean,
that's why
when Steam, they're not on Steam now, they're on Epic. When Epic puts it on like the Christmas sale or something, maybe.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, real quick before we end the stream. As I mentioned earlier, Assassin's Creed Syndicate is free on the Epic game, and so is Kingdom Come Deliverance.
Not anymore.
No.
Oh, is it over?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, all right.
Another
Never mind then.
Game. Terraria, I think, is now free to play.
Why does
or
that
free
sound familiar?
on Epic. I'm pulling up my Epic game right now. I mean, my son-in-law and his dad mentioned we should do that for our next Dad Fest. Every Wednesday, my daughter, son-in-law, and his dad, we do a thing called Dad Fest. Two dads playing with the two kids who are both married.
You're such a boomer.
I know. We played Ticket to Ride last week. A couple days ago, we played Carcassonne.
I'm sorry.
And then
I didn't mean
I saw in the Discord. I'm fine. I saw on Discord it said, "Hey guys, Epic has this free to play game. Go play it. Then we can play it together. So learn it." But I got another Trojan alert again. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I don't know why Epic gave me a Trojan alert. It's called Ferraria. So Ferraria. Okay. Ferraria is currently free on Epic Game Store, and so is Assassin's Creed Syndicate. But not the game the game you mentioned is not there. Oh, I have it already downloaded, okay, so I'm not sure if it's still free to play or not. Read it out.
As long as you grabbed it.
As long as you grabbed
it.
Download it. And wait until next time, I guess.
The one you mentioned. I grabbed the one you mentioned. I didn't grab the other one.
Aztec or whatever.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah, I didn't even bother. Whatever.
That didn't look that great to me, but apparently it's rated highly. I don't know. It's not an MMO, so.
Well, so is Hello Kitty Online, but no, I'm just kidding.
Well.
That's gonna be your meme. I'm sorry.
Everybody loves Hello Kitty, man.
All right.
I don't know if I have any. I probably.
I've got Hello Kitty stuff all over.
Well, I
my
have.
house.
I'm sure somewhere there's a Hello Kitty somewhere here in
Well,
the.
yeah, you have kids. I mean, there's an excuse.
It might be in their boxes of things I basically stored for them.
I'm looking.
But I personally
there's
don't
one in
have.
here.
I mean,
Oh, forget it! I brought it up. Forget it! I brought it up.
I have Star
We're
Wars
not doing
Fallout.
this. I'm editing. I'm editing this out. This is.
I mean,
Oh,
I have.
okay.
You know, I have Yoda. I have Totoro. I have. You know, what's it called? This is.
I have
the
Totoro too.
Spider-Man. I have my Edgar Martinez thing from Shadow Mariners. There, you know, Bubblehead. I have my. You know. Anyways, all right.
Nice.
Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. I hope we didn't create much of a problem for Solomon in post editing, but
No, it's fine.
Here,
no, it's good stuff.
we do this. We want to do this every week, and may not be every week, but we'll want to try to every week on Friday nights.
Mhm.
Talk about MMOs because we love MMOs, and we also have as three brothers in the Lord love hanging out together. So we want to hang out with you too. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the comments and the discussion. Again, we welcome any feedback, any thoughts, anything else. Okay, and don't forget, May 26th, we will be playing New World. So join us on that. Everyone's welcome to join us. So yeah, we'll give you more information as we move along, but we want you to join us too because this is a community. Because MMO RPGs is a massive multiplayer online. That means you guys too, not just us.
There you go, Dan. Wow, what an ending right there. You gotta cheers to that, man.
Cheers.
I drank all mine.
Cheers,
Sorry.
yeah.
All I got's left is soda.
All right. Have a good night, guys. Appreciate it.
Good night. Thank you, everybody.